Hello, ground passers, and welcome to Match Stories, where we bring you the stories behind the matches that matter without any of the technical jargon. There are other channels for that, and I am not an analyst, so don't expect any of that over here. But Match Stories is a new series that we're bringing to YouTube that actually already exists on our Instagram. When we're at tournaments, and doing ground pass on site, we interview players and we get quotes, and some of them we put to video of the players playing on court. You might have seen it on our Instagram. If you haven't, I will leave a link in our bio to some of them. But when we are at home watching matches, there are just a few matches that I think are much more worthy of just a 90-second reel or a post on X or Threads or Blue Sky, any of that. So we're here on YouTube to talk about those matches and why I think they are important to the overall story of the season or a certain player. Or, for example, if you're new to tennis and you're just trying to get into it, why do certain matches matter? That's what we're talking about. In this first episode of Match Stories on YouTube, we are going to be talking about Naomi Osaka's match against Viktorija Golubic, a fascinating contest that brings up the subject of lucky losers and their effects they have on matches. So let's get into it. We all know Naomi Osaka, right? If not, she's a Japanese tennis player, former world number one, four-time Grand Slam champion. She took some time away from the game and had a baby, so she is on the comeback trail currently. And then there's Viktorija Golubic, definitely a lesser known player. She's a Swiss player who reached her career high in 2022 of 35 in the world. She has a one-handed backhand and is a very crafty player with tons of variety, which we will come to very shortly. So let's set the scene. It's the second round at the Rome Open, and Naomi Osaka is coming off a title win in Saint-Malo and a first-round victory over Sara Errani. She's supposed to be playing Paula Badosa in the second round, a top 10 player who herself is coming back from injury. So where does Golubic come into all of this? Well, on the morning of, Paula Badosa withdraws as she's still nursing that injury, and Golubic comes in as a lucky loser. In tennis, lucky losers are players who lose in qualifying at a tournament but receive a place in the main draw if another player withdraws due to illness or injury. This year, some of the most famous lucky losers have been Eva Lise, who got to the first round of the Australian Open, and Gabrielle Diallo, who made it all the way to the quarterfinals of the Madrid Open. For Osaka, getting through the second round of the Rome Open would really help her confidence on a surface that she has not really been great at, although she had one of the best matches on clay last year, hands down, when she was this close to kicking Iga Swiatek out of the French Open. On paper, Golubic is a much better opponent and is lower ranked than Paula Badosa, and a lot of Naomi Osaka fans were respectfully excited about this switch. Well, viewer, long story short, they were in for a surprise. It was the first match of the day, so it started on a pretty quiet center court. But things quickly changed when Golubic immediately won the first set 6-2. Not only was the audience shocked, Naomi was shocked as well. I don't think she was ready for Golubic's game. The crafty slices, the slow serves, the gorgeous one-handed backhand. Naomi probably prepared for a hard, flat-hitting Paula Badosa. Osaka was getting increasingly frustrated and even got a code violation after throwing her racket and was complaining about Golubic's slow serves. And even though the second set was pretty close, each player was breaking each other's serves, Golubic found herself serving for the match at 5-4. Now, if you're Naomi at this point, you're probably frustrated. You're on a comeback trail, feeling good, coming off of a title, and this bait and switch has completely derailed your momentum. Tennis is mental. and it takes a lot of mental power to turn things around. Well, turn things around she did. She broke Golubic's serve to get to 5-5 and went on a run of winning 7 straight games to get the match. Second set 7-5 and lead in the third by 5-love. Big change. Golubic played a good service game at 5-love to avoid getting a bagel, but Naomi Osaka was able to close it out and win the match 2-6, 7-5, 6-1. Now, the biggest thing this match highlights, I think, is the phenomenon of the lucky loser and the slight advantage I think that they have coming into matches. There's no pressure. They already lost, and they're being given a second chance to stay in a tournament. While for the other player, Osaka in this case, it's a scramble. Osaka told the press that she only found out who her opponent was going to be 25 minutes before the match was supposed to start. She had already talked to her coach, Patrick Mouratoglou, about the game plan with Badosa, and because of this late switch, she only had 3 minutes max to discuss this new opponent and what to do. She had to problem solve herself on court. So what does this all mean? For Golubic, it's pretty rough. She was this close to getting to the third round of the Rome Open, coming in as a lucky loser. This one's really, really going to hurt. For Naomi, it's a building block. Coming back from a set down is a big confidence boost, especially when your opponent was serving for the match in the second set. Naomi is getting Marie Bouzkova next, who got a really good win against Beatrice Haddad-Mayer in her second round match. But I think Naomi has a chance here to make it far in this tournament if she wins against Marie Bouzkova. I loved this match. I loved this match because of the story it told. I'm not an analyst, like I said at the beginning of this video, but I'm a storyteller. And the pivots and the winding roads that this match took were so intriguing. The suspense of a new opponent, the element of lack of preparation, the suspense of how is it going to go, the emotional battle of watching a mental struggle, and ultimately elation of watching a player find a way. It was just great. It was great. Let me know if you liked this match breakdown and if it's helpful. I think it will be, and it's something you can apply to pretty much every other match against a player and a lucky loser coming in. If you have any questions for me about the match, maybe a term I use you don't understand, leave them in the comments. I will look through them today after I post this and just keep an eye on questions there. And of course, like and subscribe. It's really helpful for the channel so I can create more of these videos. And also it tells me that you want to see more things just like this. So thanks for watching Match Stories, and there won't be any set schedule for this. It's just going to be when there's something worth talking about. I'll be back. Bye, guys.